Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? DBS Exclusive is about to begin.
Alright, so guys, welcome back to DBS Exclusive. I'm Duttyberry, and this show is all about content creators. Now, for this particular episode, I think I want to talk to some people who kind of start off with like a structured part of them life, like them a part of the system, and at some part of their journey, they decided to just double them big toe inside of this creative space. So with me, my first guest today is Jason Brown. Jason.
Yes, sir.
What your name on social media, like the JCDC something? What is it?
The JCDB on Instagram.
On Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you give the people a little bit of your background? Because all I know, coming have time for go through, your full LinkedIn stats and stuff. But when I see things say, because I see on social media and,
Right,
things say, you think they just like, oh, you're just regular youth. But I say, no. I see a with picture with Andrew Oldness and then all kind of things with school and like with kids and, what you call it, like educating people. Like, give me your background.
My background professionally, I work in education. So I am a trained teacher from UA, and then from there I transitioned to educational management after I got my master's. I work in robotics as well, so I'm the manager for robotics for Jamaica, for JC and some other teams in Jamaica.
Oh, that is how I saw that picture with you.
Yeah. That's how we met the Prime Minister. That was a call out on Twitter actually.
Wait, who?
We called him out on Twitter.
Okay, so and then bro got just answered
and responded and like tomorrow.
Wait, you mean like right after 24 hours or less?
The following day. Yes.
Listen, you see if you did that, bro God. Sir, the honorable and Andrew Oldness, I'm asking you right now that I'd love to interview you right here. Right here, so on this couch over there. So yeah, you can send just the link. Okay, you probably have him on WhatsApp right now. See there? FaceTime and stuff. Like honestly, okay, big up yourself, wifey too. You can be here as well. Yeah, so that must be a big deal at the time.
It was a highlight. It happened this year too. It was a highlight for the year. From there, I got into hosting, motivational speaking, keynote addresses, educational consultations. I left the ministry to work for private.
And how was that? How was that transition at the time?
It was smooth for me to transition because I'm young, so I can take risks now. But when it comes on to the experience, there's a video on my channel about that.
They talked about, in detail.
So yes, in 2020, at the start of the pandemic, I got a job. And now we're in November, still going through the pandemic, and I lost my job.
And I've been working in private from there. So it's educational consultancy management, and now in the world of content creation. How that happened, I don't know. But we're working with it.
Yes, so I want to you on your page. I think you talk about like the love that you have to to like impart knowledge to the next generation.
Yeah.
Why is that so much of a passion for you?
Because I believe that there's so much untapped potential with our young people, and we often, in my area with the older generation, they often find demeaning words and things to describe young people, but I wanted to uplift because it's a passion of mine. I think working at JC, being around 2,000 boys every day, it really cultivated my interest because I got to see different socioeconomic backgrounds, as in their challenges, the way they learn.
And I can't imagine so everybody was just receptive to just like either learn and stuff like teenagers run them age. Sometimes them can go through the little attention stage where.
Yes, man, and working in that space really shine the light on all the problems that are untouched with them. So I wanted to connect with them on a level because teaching for me was very easy,
Yeah.
Like when I tell people, I taught at JC for 5 years, I never have no issues with nobody at all, no disrespect.
So they fully just respected you.
Up to this day, boys leave, graduate, working, Mr. Brown to this day, up to this day, because the rapport I built with them. So I wanted to affect young persons and to be a positive reinforcement for them. And tell them good things.
Yeah.
Because I never really have much of that apart from my family. So I wanted to be that difference for them.
Well, that's nice. So you have all of this now, I guess, bright academic youth. how do you end up now being in this space where you can add like a YouTuber? Because some people that think say, that's like a little downgrade. Why you bother with YouTube? You have all of this going for you right now.
Downgrade. Yeah.
There's some people that say that, especially
facts.
Especially that, you know, you were actually shortlisted for the Prime Minister Youth Award for that in the category leadership. No one know why they have the little face to right now.
How did that come up?
You know?
How did that come up?
It doesn't come up because I resent something fresh out the
Yes,
oven.
that happened. That happened. But about your original question.
No, God.
About the original question.
Okay, yeah.
I had an idea to speak with persons in the professional arena to share the experiences about life. So persons who you probably see who are big shots now, they failed course in university, they had money issues, they can depart knowledge. So I had this idea to like a 10-part series on IGTV.
Oh yeah, that's where you started out. Yeah,
called
yeah.
Life Lessons with Jason. So I did the first episode and somebody was like, I'm not on IG. Put on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fine.
That's what I always tell people, like, yo,
the
put
channel
content
the same
there.
day, and that was it for me. I just started posting things there and developing the community.
The name of the channel is Life.
It's Life Lessons with Jason.
And so, what is the vibe on that channel? Because I've seen a couple of your videos there.
Yeah, man.
And I realized that from me, it seemed to be very inspirational. It's very personal motivation. It's also a little bit of lifestyle.
Yeah,
Come and say you talk about the beard, like my beard not reach us out, it's a struggle. But to say you look a thing right there, and then you fully endorse and support, you know, the Baldhead Nation. You know, like you fully talk about
yes, man.
it.
I don't have hair. I don't have a hairline. I have to embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about, as the intro says, I sing that, by the way. That was very nerve-wracking for me. It is.
Yo, give us a little piece now. Give me a little piece. Give me a little piece of the vocals, man.
The intro song. Inspiration, education, lifestyle and motivation. Let's go on your journey.
Yeah.
Life Lessons with Jason.
Yeah.
Tell me, are you ready?
See that? Yes, it's a nice song,
so
yeah.
we wrote that song, recorded it. So it's inspiration, education, lifestyle, motivation. So from challenges to I get very personal there, talking to people. You know, it's literally my safe space, and I think in 2020 it was so good for me.
Yeah.
You know, I lost my job. I lost my job.
Yeah, I spoke about that on your channel.
And instead of trying to find means, took up my camera and tell the world I lost my job. But you know, it's good for my mental space, and I think it will help other persons as they navigate through life. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely love that. I like the fact that, you know, I keep on saying that YouTube is a space where you have so many different type of creators, and I do like that you can have somebody who steps from out of the corporate world, or you know that standard type of 9-to-5 system, and can tap into their own creativity and create content, and it is showing your personality. And that's why I think, you know, I see a channel and I say, you know, this kind of refreshing is a different vibe, because I don't like to see the whole thing where every content creator feel like, oh, they must just do a skit. I'm like, make it relatable to you and the type of things and your own interests, and that's when people are gonna gravitate.
I just shell myself onto the internet all the time. Like, the internet knows my most intimate detail. It's ridiculous. The first time I spoke about wanting to take my life was on YouTube. It wasn't even to my family or well, apart from a therapist. I believe in that, by the way. Get therapy, guys. Get help. Yeah, but apart from that, it helps me. You know, I can't put myself in a shell because people out there want help. Yeah. So I'm here to help.
Lots of people can relate to some of the themes that you talk about.
The comments, the personal testimonials. It is it for me, like legit.
Well, we're going to just jump down more into this content creator scene, but after this break, I will be bringing on another good friend of mine, and he goes by the name of Joel Nomdarkham. Hopefully, I'm not mixing name, because if I get it wrong, I will probably get a social distancing box to my face. Box cover. We'll be right back after the break. DBS Exclusive. All right, so welcome back to DBS Exclusive. Now, in the first segment, I spoke to Jason Brown and him talk about him, you know, him story and how him transition into this creative space. And so now I'm joined, you know, with Joel Nomdarkham. Joel is somebody who I look up to, even though him, you know,
What?
just, you know,
Listen.
he's just like, you know, like 10 years older than I am. But like, I really look up to him, and he is somebody who I feel that we're just going to ignore that part of it. I really look up to him because he is just creating a lane for himself. I think I was having a conversation, I'm going to say, Joel, you need to like decide where exactly you are in this space. Because you are like a marketer over here, a little, what you call it, like media personality in there. So then you're mixing a little, you know, budding fashion icon over here. And then you drop in, oh, I'm a content creator, influencer. So you're just like, what else?
Yeah. I mean, you know, for me, it's first of all, I had a challenge trying to like figure out what exactly I do. So, you know, growing up, I always told myself that I wanted to do marketing and journalism. I remember 17, my classmates and I were at KC, and the biggest, you know, the best institution on the island.
Gosh, this is like another time. KC people have to plug them schools.
You don't have to. But I remember telling myself, I just want to do both of them. And, you know, when I went to university, did my undergrad and did journalism, Faye Ellington said to me, about Faye Ellington, Auntie Faye, said to me, I was about to switch over to the integrated marketing communications degree, and she said to me, you know that you can use a journalism degree and make it applicable to anything? And I said, really? And she convinced me. So I did the journalism degree. But in all honesty, doing all of that and, you know, working in marketing and pulling it together, I realized that I became a hybrid of something that I kind of created from before. And then I looked at it and I wanted to like create a little subset of all of that, and I realized that it couldn't work because I'm just an eccentric person.
Yes.
And you know, as you mentioned, you have the fashion side of it, which I don't know where that came from because I wasn't fashionable in university.
You got foreign, man. You got foreign. Just like, you got foreign, and you go Soho, and then you see the people and be like, "Whoa, I need to bring this to Jamaica."
It started there. It started there.
Yeah.
But and then I started to, it also came with growing into myself a little bit more, and it just magically happened. We just start weird things and people say, oh, that pants look interesting, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm becoming really care either.
Yeah.
So we just trying something, and I'm trying something here, say, look good. So I say, all right, then we can make this fashion thing actually part of the brand.
It's
so,
a scar for me. Like,
you know?
So you said like we cannot catch Joel just like walking down, like going to the shopping and like yard clothes and, you know, tear up.
Yeah, but no, like, but because of the persona I've created, yeah, man. But because of the persona I've created, even that I go look good.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the mind. It's
Wow!
the no,
Wow!
Hence why,
Jesus!
why the marketing side of it is
Jesus
just so, you know, I play on the
But
psyche.
you think you could have off like your yard clothes, Jason?
Ooh.
You know the Crocs and things, and look at one tear up and so you could make it work.
Crocs, leave it alone.
You know, but brother, it's an amazing thing to be confused sometimes because it really births a lot of innovative ideas. I feel like you're not supposed to be like everybody else.
Yes.
For me, you'll never ever, and I'm not boasting or anything, but I also have the accolades to back it up. You know, being a contributor, the only Jamaican. I mean, being the only Jamaican contributor to a social media examiner, presenting at European Digital Week, and being a marketer, but also the type of marketer that I am. I have created a niche for myself. You know, and I encourage every creative who might be confused about where they're going, what they stand for. Do not try to copy anybody else because this just happened out of me being myself.
This lane and this space that you've now created for yourself, do you think it is being received well by the other people in your space? Because it's either that they might welcome it. Because I know for other professions, you have some people who, if they're like a doctor or a lawyer, that carry certain rules and everything, like, oh, you're not supposed to do this. Do you find that there are probably persons who, you know, like older than you in the space, looking at you doing all of these things and be like, you need familiar, I do too much, like, why you try?
It's funny.
Too much.
Yeah, trust me. Yes, I've gotten that a lot of time. But
Jamaican thing to say.
Yeah. But as I said before, you know, knowing what you're about is the most important thing because no matter what kind of criticism might come your way, if you know what you represent and you know what you stand for, it's very difficult to be distracted. And I recall because I'm known on Twitter as the Minister of Marketing.
Yeah.
And, you know, Twitter is a space that's very toxic, but I also believe it's a space where you can drive some conversations and drive some change. And I started back Twitter because of the pandemic in like March 2020 and because of the gig that I got with Social Media Examine. And I came back on because people wanted to connect with me. Because I was like, geez, let me just keep my LinkedIn and my Instagram. And when I came to this space, I realized how bad it was. But I used it for the better in terms of starting conversations around mental health. When I did the Black Kings Rising project with a group,
that was amazing.
Yeah, I was a part of it, and I literally got the top amount of focus.
And politics. Well, we had election.
Wait, you're saying that like I'm sure the picture's going to come right now.
Yeah, you know. And we had elections and trying to drive conversations, and people believe that I was being too aggressive in the space. They believe that I shouldn't be, you know, atting ministers and stuff. I remember when I messaged when I at Minister Cuthbert and somebody messaged me, he's like, you're too aggressive. But meanwhile, Minister Cuthbert responded because there's also another part of the marketing, you know, psyche where these people are immediate, and if you draw down crowd upon them, more than likely they're going to answer. Yeah. So I've been told that I'm a little bit too aggressive.
Same thing with the Prime Minister,
And it happened.
The next day.
Twinsies. You know what I mean? So people not going to respect you. They're going to see it as an anomaly. They're going to see you as disruptive.
Yes.
But I think that's what the space needs because, you know, marketing in Jamaica has to evolve, and it's not going to happen unless you have people like me where really step up, do things different, but in doing so, make sure you have something behind your name. You just come and say you have something and you have none for prove it.
And I think that's it. You need to kind of be very bold in this space, especially to stand out and be game changers.
Yes.
And one of the things like I appreciate with Joel is this. Because he is literally like in the middle between the corporate world and this creative world, and him literally is like, I feel like over time you kind of position yourself to be a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, if I were to, you know, like be a part of a brand, it's very nice to know that you have somebody like a Joel there, where if a creative were supposed to come on board, him kind of have a little bit of the insight to know how to, you know, navigate a conversation with a content creator and still kind of bring that information to the other corporate people, because sometimes there's a disconnect. They don't understand. They must say, hey, do this, turn around. I'm like, no, you don't understand the creative thing. You take time for edit and these things, and so it's nice to have somebody like you. And also the fact that you push this idea of us collaborating.
Yes.
Listen.
And it's something that don't happen a lot of.
Oh.
It doesn't happen
because
very
we tend to compete, not collaborate.
Yeah. And you know, this year has shown me through collaborating with so many different people on so many different projects. Some of the projects it doesn't necessarily affect me, you know, personally, but the latest one being the mental health project that I did with a group of guys. That was the other one that I did with the International Men's Day.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo guys, let's come together. You guys are creatives. Let's pull together resources, get the projects trending, work together, and you know, I'm big on collaborating. I am so big on that because that's the only way you actually get to like leave an impact if everybody come together.
Facts. Now, really quickly, you both you guys are on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Like,
kind of. Him overpass me now.
Just dip on it, but like, why is LinkedIn so important? And should you encourage like creatives to just like be there? What kind of opportunities has happened because of LinkedIn?
I got jobs from LinkedIn, speaking engagements from LinkedIn. It's the networking for me, really. It's a professional space to just put your work out there, and it doesn't feel like you're boasting or bragging because everybody's doing the same thing. And you get to connect with persons all over the world and have them share best practices. That's a good thing for me. So I can post something that I did in Jamaica, and a person's like, wow, how can I do that in Florida, in Mississippi, in Asia, in China? It is good.
It's amazing. It's an amazing platform. The latest one was presenting at European Digital Week, which was back in October, November. And I've been connected with so many industry leaders. There's a big project that I'm going to focus on for next year because I'm all over the place. But I want to focus entirely on something to do with marketing and building people's capacity. And I've connected so far with a few folks from Google, YouTube, you know, and a whole host of other organizations. And it's because of LinkedIn. So that's really,
trust me, LinkedIn.
I'm going to take your word and I'm going to try it here. But like before we go to the next break right now, and I think I'll be saying goodbye to my Virgin Jason, and I'll be bringing in my friend. I'm gonna tell you her name like after the break, but like I just choose a LinkedIn kind of turn a look at dating site quickly.
Follow me at Joel Nomdarkham, and I'll break it down for you. Trust
Jason
me,
Brown
on
LinkedIn.
It can be a little messy.
A little.
Transform your home with an elegant and unique selection of decorative lighting fixtures, lamps, and accessories from LPSR. Come home to comfort with a variety of our custom seating options. Enhance your space with beautiful rugs in a wide variety of colors, textures, and sizes. Trendy, chic, unique. LPSR.
And welcome back, guys. So now I am joined by my lovely friend, Rochielin. Rochielin, thanks for being here. Even though I bad my body up on telephone, just like come here last minute.
Yes.
I probably the same thing for you, like Joel. But
yeah.
I just saw it going. You know, people have to just be like, hey.
Yeah.
So,
but thanks for having me.
Yes. So I've been, talking to, like my friends and everybody. I mentioned, say, them left from this corporate space and, I dabble in this content creation space. So you still, and Joel, still balance the both of them.
Yeah.
When I leave one for the other, when I decide to hear what, I'm going to take the money here, so, and make the money here, so, and then when the month end time, I just get the money, I'm going to get the security, and when everything will come in retirement, I'm just there for it all.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about your working background.
Alright, so I work in corporate as well as I do the creative on the side, but I try to keep both very separate. Right, so my corporate life is my corporate life. That's 9 to 5. That's during the day, and then YouTube and content creation starts at 6 onward. So it's a delicate balance because I can't tell you that it's easy. It's really not, because it's the day job is very demanding. YouTube and content creation is even more demanding.
Work, yeah, another chore.
Yeah, it's so much. So it's finding a way how to balance the two and to still strategize and to make the best moves at the best time where that's concerned. So I've been doing both now. YouTube for 4 years and corporate since I left college.
Which college is that?
Since I left University of Technology.
Okay.
Which was 6 years ago. So yeah, I've been balancing both and it's been working out. But eventually I hope to maybe go into content creation full time.
Full time? Oh, do you have that sort of?
Definitely.
Yeah, sure. If the muggling thing that took over Joel, just be like, all right.
Let me tell you.
If Fenty Beauty Link can be like, yo, the new something, the men's collection, no, you'll be like, well, the money.
Well, in the circumstances.
Joel will be like, yo, buy peace out corporate world.
It's interesting because I like you pretty much put it in the right way. Literally, that security that we have with our salary that's coming in, but also that extra that you do get from fulfilling your passion. And I think sometimes there's always a debate around people who choose to do a 9 to 5 and those who choose to become entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Some of us are okay with our 9 to 5, like we're fine. But it's just that sometimes you have you want that creativity that you want to get fulfilled. You won't necessarily get it in a 9 to 5. So for example, a lot of the ideas that I have, I can't do at my company because of the type of company that it is. So I channel all of that into my personal brand. And them can't cuss when they say, may I get engagement all over social media or speak. So
which is a good segue because, like, how do you find it, in terms of, like, how your, what you call it, that the working relationship that you have in the corporate space? Like, when they realize that you're stepping into this creative zone, sometimes do they have an input in terms of your content? Like, out here, because I know that some, it's just like a friend of mine that tells me, like, hey, get a call and be like, hey, I see you talking about like these type of things and you're doing this stuff. I don't really like it because you're part of our company.
Oh well no, not for me because my social media life outside is PG-13. It's still.
May I share fan base? We have the Ilangoli ride, profile fan base.
It's lifestyle. It's about Jamaica. It's promoting Jamaica in a positive light. And in my day job, it's promoting Jamaica, but in the business aspect of Jamaica. So I mean, even though it's different, it's all in one promoting Jamaica. And I haven't had any calls yet to say that I need to not do this or not do that. Until
you decide, so you're going to go on a particular site where, have the fan blow, that's when you'll get the call real quickly.
That's not my personal brand.
That definitely shouldn't be. We shouldn't go along that line. But
so we should not be doing that.
For me, it's more so... it's very interesting, and I have to be very careful about how I craft it. I do believe that probably I so I speak with a few exec people, and they tell me, Joel, you know, we wish our company page could get the same degree of engagement that you get on your pages. And I'm like, well, I'm not your brand manager. You have a brand manager. It's just that those persons don't necessarily know how to do the thing. You know what I mean? How to grow. They're not on the ground. They're not in the field. And sometimes it's very conflicting because people associate me with the company. I'd love to see the company do better, but I'm not the brand manager for the company because I'm 26, and sometimes you believe that young people should not be given that same opportunity. And for me, it's pretty much, it's like trying to do that, but also carefully still letting people know that you're competent to do what, you're competent to deliver on certain things. Hence why it's important for me to balance that creative side. So my blogging, my website, people know, say, yo, Joel know him thing. But when it comes down to the corporate side of it, as much as I want my company to be on the same level that I am at, I can't do that because I'm not the one in charge. You know,
I love that point, and I'm sure it's the same type of thing in terms of people are probably looking and see the energy where you're putting in your personal like brand. Now, Rochielin, you are a female, you know, like in this space.
I am.
How you find it? Do you find it a lot easier for you to like get the likes, comments, and shares because you're a girl, like in this space?
Well, I've never been a boy, so I don't know otherwise. I don't know otherwise.
You know, it's funny because in 2020, it's an interesting thing to kind of say.
Anything is possible. But no, I will say I have a very large male fan base, and I know a lot of them are there not necessarily for the content, and a lot of persons are there for what they see.
The adorableness,
Yeah, the adorableness, you know. I mean, which is fine too, because you know that S word sells. But even though that's still not my brand, because I try to not have the focus so much on me, but more on what I'm showcasing.
And what kind of stuff do you do? Because I see you started off like very personally. I know you're very passionate about like, you know, like talking about like natural beauty, and for a lot of girls to just like embrace who they are.
So first my YouTube channel started with me embracing my natural hair and showing a little bit of my natural hair journey, and then it kind of blossomed into a lot more than that. More it's a lifestyle channel now, which showcases what I'm doing at that given time, with, you know, informing the viewers as well as entertaining them. So it's a whole lifestyle package showing different places around Jamaica, what to do, what not to do, where to go, the housing market, you know, what to buy, what you can get for that amount of money, where you can rent, DIY projects, you know, and then upliftment content, you know, embracing yourself, embracing your flaws, embracing all of that. So it's one big whole package, but I try to keep my personal side a little bit out of it, which works against me sometimes.
We won't ever be seeing a couple thing from you in terms of jumping into that, or be like, hey.
Don't.
I don't.
Yeah, that's
don't.
I like to keep my private life private.
Same. I love your content. I love the content. I'm going to tell you, say, you know, the type of content that you do, it's very specific. And so don't expect the one bugger, you know, views them, you know, immediately. And I'm sure you see it pay off, you know, right?
Yeah. So what happened with my content too? It's a more older and mature audience, because it's people that are looking to learn. I'm not saying that younger people don't, but the likelihood is, when I check the analytics, there are persons over 45, 65, 75.
So you're
a lot of older people.
You're like them young friend where I put them on and show them.
Showing them from my perspective. Like, you know, I do a lot of country vlogs, which is a hit on the channel. That's what most persons
I love them. And your family, mommy,
So I go out into the countryside and show what the countryside is like in 2020, and compare it to what whoever I'm interviewing at the time will show me, you know, what it used to be. And I showcase the pit latrine, for example. I've never used a pit latrine before.
Use a pit latrine?
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. Back in the days when I used to go to the country, I used to use it.
1945.
I used to use it, but
back in the day.
You mentioned something very important that every single content creator should know, and that's niche. You have to identify that community of people who you can tap into. That's profitable. That community that can support you. Because I think a lot of times when content creators come into the space, and Duttyberry, I know you can definitely speak to this. Sometimes content creators come into the space without putting in the work and they expect to get this bag of, you know, unless you come and unless you come and do other things, then you can immediately grow that. But it would rob you of an opportunity if you can get to fully, naturally find a community of people to support you. So really and truly, the metrics and all of that should never ever be the focus at first. You know, you should just go in, love what you do,
I love it. And I feel like, you know, before we go and wrap up, no more, that's why I forgot to ask. So Joel, when we get in the YouTube channel?
Probably 2024. Come I try to get the podcast 2022. Honestly, like, that's just me. Like, I just try to.
Rochelin, what can we expect for like 2021 in terms of you and your content online?
There's a lot more house hunting, a lot more country vlogs, a lot more educating and entertaining at the same time. A lot more Rochelin, a lot more Jamaicanness, a lot more life.
Okay, I love that. And so make sure that you go and you follow them. I'm going to make sure I put up them information right on the screen at this moment. All right, well, that's it. We've come to the end of another DBS exclusive interview. Thank you so much, Joel and Rochielin. I appreciated the conversation. So I have to go and big up my sponsors, because without them, you know, none of this could be possible. So I'm going to big up, you know, PBCJ for the space and accommodating me. I have to go and big up LPSR for the set. Big up Effit.ltd. So for all of your content creation needs, go to them. Big up Right Studios for styling me. And yeah, so stay tuned until next time when I'll be talking to another creative in the space. DBS exclusive. Bye-bye.